It's sad. It's a sad day for Chelsea. It's a sad day. You know, it hurts because Frank is the greatest Chelsea player ever. He is one of us. He's a fan. He supports the club. He loves the club. And it was always going to end in tears one day. Mm. Every manager gets the sack. Very few don't.
Does it dent anything he's done on the pitch, do you think?
No.
I agree with that.
Not at all. Not at all. Frank is, in my mind, the greatest Chelsea player ever, and will always be in my lifetime. I very much doubt anyone will overtake him, what he's done and achieved. And it's sad to see Frank be treated like this, but that's football, and that's how Chelsea Football Club is run. There is no sentimentality, and there shouldn't be.
No,
because if it's the best for the football club, nothing and no one is bigger than the club. Okay. And I think that Frank walked into this job with his eyes wide open. He knows the club better than anyone. And look, I love Frank, and you know, I thank him for all that he's done, because it was fun while things were going pretty well. But he'll admit things have not been great recently. Okay. I would like to have seen, and I thought Frank would get at least the next two games, both at home, both winnable. In fact, the next 4-5 games, 4 of them are quite winnable, the Spurs in between them. And I thought Frank would probably get, and I hoped he would get, a little bit longer. The problem is, there are two sides to this for me. There is the side, the argument, and both are right, that we are into the next round of the FA Cup. We're just 5 points off top 4.
Oh no, you've got Barnsley for placing the last 8.
We're just 5 points outside top 4.
Yep.
We're in the knockout stage of the Champions League. We topped our group. And, you know, so when you put it like that, but then there's the other side. The last 8 games, we've been dreadful. Mm-hmm. We've fallen off a cliff. It's been, we've picked up 7 points out of 24. The performances have been terrible. I've sat there, and how many times have I said to you, haven't played well again, you know? And the games that we have won, we've won 2 in that time. One against West Ham. For an hour, they were better than us. And the other one was against 10-man Fulham. And we didn't play particularly well in that game, really. You know, it could have been a draw. Had it been 11v11, I think we probably would have drawn it. And the performances weren't getting any better. In fact, they were really starting to tailspin. And we've done all right at the weekend. It's Luton in the FA Cup, you know.
You should have won. Yeah, you should have won that game, yeah.
So it's felt that since Everton away, it's been poor. You know, I go and watch the games, and there are glimpses, but it's because we went through a period where it was so enjoyable. Like, I really enjoyed the games.
Quite early on, yeah?
Yeah, I enjoyed watching it. I enjoyed okay, COVID, right? Killed it. But I used to enjoy watching us. We were tight at the back, creating chances. We were fun to watch. We ain't fun to watch at the minute. We're not. And I feel for Frank, because this is his first blip. In the time he's been there, 18 months, he's only had a bad 7 weeks. That's all he's had. But it's been a dreadful 7 weeks.
Listen, he's getting the sack because it's Chelsea. I don't know, that sounds bizarre, but, you know, we've seen Mikel Arteta be under quite a lot of pressure, similar pressure, right? There were times when we were doing shows and thinking this could be his last game if he loses. He lost it, they stuck with him. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, even more so, has been under the cosh. You know, fair play. You know, you slag the United board off sometimes, and I wouldn't say I understand it, but, you know, you could argue you've every right to do so. But I think we have to pat them on the back at the moment, because Manchester United are the top of the Premier League. They've stuck by their man. Why won't Chelsea do that when you look at other clubs and they've been in exactly the same position, same scenario, but they just pulled a trigger?
Because it's worked in the past. Do you know? It's worked. It's somehow we're a bonkers club. We are, and it works. You know, AVB got the sack, won the Champions League. It somehow we seem to function under chaos. Now, I mean, Ollie was he was the favourite to get the sack not that long ago. I think he was probably 3 games from the sack, Ollie. Probably. Right. Frank's performances have tailed off. So you could argue the last 3 really haven't been good enough. We got turned over by Leicester convincingly. We were shocking against Wolves second half. Dreadful against Arsenal. You know, these are sides that are now one of us catching up and could overtake us tomorrow. They got Southampton, Arsenal. Yeah. And it's hard to say this, but we were rotten. It became inevitable for me that we were going to keep playing badly. Okay, let's go through some of the things. We're not keeping clean sheets now. That was a real feature of our game. In the early part of the season, couldn't keep. Mendy come in, Silva, Chilwell. We looked tight at the back. Defensively, well organised. Dealing with balls from wide areas. We were defending our box brilliantly, really well. I don't know where that's gone. We were creating loads of chances, you know, moving the ball quickly. We're so slow moving the ball. The centre-halves, part of the centre-halves goes out to Reece James. Reece James comes back, goes out all the way to Chilwell. It's like we got a pass through the midfield. No passing through the midfield. Consequently, no chances being created. And this has happened in a very short space of time. Literally falling off an edge of a cliff. Frank's teams at the other side, I tell you what, was fun. I loved watching them. It was, and the first season he overachieved really. He done so well. It was fun, brought through the young players, and that is going to be probably his legacy. Because had a Tuchel come in 18 months ago, we might not have seen Mason Mount get his chance.
Well, I was going to ask you, do you worry about the young kids now that Thomas Tuchel's
well, they're established now. Mason Mount's been our best player.
I know, but I doubt. I know he scored a hat trick, but I don't know if Tammy Abraham, for argument's sake, might be the number 9 for Chelsea for the next however many years.
Well, look, if he's good enough, he will be. If he's not, he won't be. Isn't that that's how football should work?
Yeah, but you get the feeling, you mentioned it there, that Frank sort of stood by the young kids coming through.
Well, I mean, we bought in Werner. So
yeah, but you didn't play him up top.
Werner should be scoring goals. Werner Havertz came in. So I think they're the two problems for Frank. Frank has not got a tune out of those two. And when you spend that amount of money, in particular Werner's the one. Havertz is still a work in progress and will be for quite a while. He's 21 still. But Werner came with a big reputation, scoring goals for club and country in the Champions League. One of the reasons Leipzig did so well last year and, nearly went to the final. He, of course, was at Chelsea at the time. But Frank wasn't getting a tune out of him. And Pulisic, he's not played particularly well. You can't really say the last 7 weeks anyone's played really well. Mount is probably the only one for my money. Mount's been he's been brilliant for us.